So last month I had an overly ambitious TBR, and this month I do again, but at least we're getting on the right track. Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I have my June TBR. So once again, we're doing something a little bit different for this TBR. Normally I go based on my 2018 goals and assign a book to each goal. However, I have been overly ambitious with my TBRs and I'm not getting through all of the books that I need to. And so we're going to dial it back a bit. We're taking a catch-up month and we are going to actually read those books that keep appearing on my TBR that don't get read. So this TBR is still a little too big. However, whatever doesn't get read from this month will roll over to next month. And hopefully I'm going to start to slowly get to a reasonable TBR. I kind of only want my TBR to be around 10 books in the next couple of months. We'll get to that number hopefully. And let's just see how we go. I feel like I should also say that a lot of these books that I've got have been borrowed and that makes me nervous, which is why I need to read them all as soon as possible and give them back. So I'm just going to crack on and get to showing you the books that I'm going to be reading in June. First up we have the one that I'm currently reading, and that is Warstone by Victoria Aveyard. I know for a fact I'm going to finish this because I need to finish it by the 4th of June because I'm going to a sign-in. I'm currently only 117 pages in, so I've got like 500 pages to go. And it's going to be intense, but we're going to get there. So this is the last book in the Red Queen series. I've heard it is a soul destroyer, very emotional, gonna kill me. Like I said, 100 pages in, I'm already emotional. And eventually I will be doing a book diary for this because it's a 2018 release. But I'm loving it so far and I can't wait to finish it, but I don't want it to end. And I don't want to be hurt, so it's mixed bag with this one. One of those borrowed books is The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. I'm not gonna lie, I have read the Half Bad series by Sally Green and it took me a while to get into, but I ended up loving the series. So I'm not sure if this is going to be as gritty as that. I'm kind of hoping not because that's what put me off the Half Bad series. But I borrowed this one from Ryan and he got it as an ARC in a Lumicrate, and I do intend to buy the book. However, at Waterstones at the minute, they don't have anything on buy one get one half price that I want apart from this, so it's been a struggle trying to get hold of it. I don't know anything about this apart from it's a multi-perspective? Multi-perspective? Is that what I'm trying to say? A multi-perspective fantasy, although I'm sure that's not the right term. Then we have the book that Ryan recommended I'd read for May, however I'm a little behind, and that is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. You all know what this is about. It's a virtual reality sci-fi about a not very nice future world. And so the residents sort of go to this virtual world called the Oasis. And the creator of the Oasis died a while back and he left Easter eggs throughout the game, and whoever cracks the Easter eggs gets to inherit all of his millions. And our main character stumbles across the first one of those and I don't know where it goes from there. Another borrowed book is Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This is the sequel to Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda. I really want to read this soon because I know what happens and I'm not a fan of what happens in this book. So I am going to read it because I've read Becky Albertalli's other 2 books this year. However, not crazy excited for it. And yeah, I just want to sort of read it to wrap up the Becky Albertalli books. If you remember last month I had a bit of a dilemma over whether I was going to be reading Mistborn or Elantris. Because I'm such an OCD crazy person that has to read things in order, I have gone with Elantris. Unfortunately, again, not enough time to start it this month, so I am going to section this off. It has like 600 pages, so I might section bits off to make sure that I get through it this month. Really excited, although I have no idea what this one is about. However, I like the concept of all of Brandon Sanderson's other books, and so I'm willing to give it a go. As well as this, I'm aware that it's probably his weakest book, but as I have read nothing by him, I have nothing to compare it to, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to hate it. Then we have Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is a middle grade. You all know what it's about more than I do. I really don't have a clue, apart from that Percy Jackson is the son of a god. That's actually all I know. I've never read a Rick Riordan book. I know, but I am trying to change that, so bear with me. Yeah, I borrowed this from Ryan, so I want to read it this month, and then if I like it, I'll buy the Percy Jackson box set. I do want to read some more middle grade and something other than Harry Potter, because I've already read that. So I thought this would be good, but I didn't want to commit to buying like the whole box set of the series until I'd tried this first. Then we have November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This is a contemporary, not sure of the plot. The reason that I got it is I saw it in the library and I thought, Colleen Hoover, everybody has really strong opinions on her and I don't know who she is. I'm not sure she's published in the UK, so when I saw this in the library I was like, yeah, I'm gonna snatch this up and read it. It's in the large print edition, so it doesn't have very many pages, so I'm hoping I can read it quite quickly and discover what all this Colleen Hoover problematic fuss hate stuff is about. Then, as you know, I am hosting a read-along for the entire Throne of Glass series in anticipation of Kingdom of Ash being released in October. I thought that the book was going to be released in September, so I kind of like messed up the timings of the read-along. So we decided to push Arrowfire back a month, and so this month we will be reading Arrowfire, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series. Probably don't need to tell you what this is about. I'm sure you're all aware, especially if you've been watching my channel, but it's a young adult fantasy series about an assassin. This is the third book in the series, so I can't really tell you anything about this specifically. Then we have Traitor to the Throne and Hero at the Fall by Alwyn Hamilton. These are the second and third books in the Rebel of the Sands trilogy. I read the first one in April now, and I'm really not the kind of person to start a series and not finish it, so I really need to get on this. But these are a YA fantasy series set in the desert, and it's about a young girl called Imani who's kind of fed up with life in this little dusty town that she lives in. And so a mysterious and alluring foreigner comes through one day and she decides to sort of run away with him to get to this city that her mother used to always talk about. And chaos ensues on the way and the plot goes in a completely different direction. But I did enjoy the first book and I've heard really good things about this series, so I do want to continue. Not sure if I will get to both of these, but I want to at least read the second one in June. The final book I've borrowed from Ryan is Call Me By Your Name by an author whose name I can't pronounce. I'm going to say Andre Aciman? Also don't know what this is about, but I asked to borrow it from him just because I want to watch the film, because I know that the film is really good. I believe it is a gay book. I don't really know what category it falls into, and I think one of the boys or men is older than the other one. Something about peaches, don't know, want to find out. Then we have It's Okay, I'm Wearing Really Big Knickers by Louise Renison. This is the second book in the Georgia Nicholson series. I absolutely loved this series as a child, and I have recently reread the first book in this series, Anger Songs and Full Frontal Snogging, for Sobathon, and so I want to continue. These are really big text, diary entry, and they are only 200 and something pages long. I literally fly through them. So definitely going to read this one, may continue with the rest of the series because they're so quick to read. What I will say about these is that they haven't really stood up to the test of time. There's a lot of problematic language in them. But the first book was published in 1999, so it is kind of expected. And these basically just follow a 14-year-old girl who's sort of trying to figure out how to shave her legs and get boys and put makeup on and stuff. It's hilarious, but if you are easily offended or you don't appreciate problematic language regarding sexuality and race, it's nothing too extreme, but it is making jokes about lesbians and things like that, then I would skip this. I probably won't recommend it to somebody who hasn't read it before. If you are in it for the nostalgia factor, like me, I would recommend rereading these if you've been thinking about it, because they are still kind of funny. And the book that you keep seeing on my TBRs is the one that is next in my Read the Oldest Book on Your Goodreads shelf challenge thing, and that is Shiva by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a paranormal romance series about, I think, werewolves. I want to read other works by Maggie Stiefvater, obviously the Raven Boys. However, I have had these on my shelf forever, and I feel like I can't read the Raven Boys before I read these because there'll be like a significant decrease in quality of writing, and it fits in with my 2018 goals, so that's why I'm reading this one. Then we have my second library book, and that is The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. Yes, I know, I was supposed to read this last month and I've been waiting since January for it, so you'd think I'd be excited to get to it, but apparently not. This is about a girl who's on a spaceship, and I think something has happened to everybody else on there. So she is the only person on that spaceship, and there's some other people on another spaceship that are travelling to the same destination as her. And I think they're travelling faster than she is, so they're going to catch her eventually. Don't know anything about it apart from that, but I have only heard great things about this. And I've been reading a lot of sci-fi and loving it at the minute, so I'm excited to check it out. Then we have Saga Volume 8 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is the last published volume in the Saga series so far. I'm nervous because I've been loving these so much and I didn't want them to end, so I've stretched them out across, I'll be my third month of reading them. Volume 7 left on a pretty big cliffhanger, and I'm kind of nervous about that. And I'm nervous that there's definitely going to be a cliffhanger at the end of this, and I won't get to find out what happens until I think December the next volume's published. But I absolutely love this. It's a sci-fi graphic novel series that's like Romeo and Juliet set in space, about two people who have a baby and the planets that they're from don't like that, so send mercenaries after them, and you follow not only the couple and the baby but the mercenaries as well. Very morally grey, very emotional, absolutely love it. And I'm so sad I won't have any more to read. And last but not least, this is kind of an honourable mention, and it is Furyborne by possibly Claire Legrand. I don't remember. But when this was getting so much hype when it was given in, was it Fairy Loot? I did pre-order a copy. However, in the UK, it's only been published in June, even though in the US it was published in May. And so at some point during this month, because I don't remember its release date, I will be receiving my pre-order of that. However, I think it's going to be like later towards the month, so I'm probably not going to start it. But just in case I do, I thought I'd pop it on this TBR. And I don't know what it's about. This is really, I don't impulse buy books. Like, that I don't know nothing about just because somebody else liked them on BookTube. I don't do it, but I did, and it happened. So that's it for my June TBR. We have 16 books in total, and I did say I'm trying to cut down, but that is 4 books less than last month, so I'm considering it progress. Please let me know if you have read any of these books, if you are going to read any of these books, or if you think I'm just insane for having so many books on my TBR. And please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those. And I would highly recommend Twitter now, because I am on there a lot more than I was when I reactivated it. So if you want to catch up with me, talk with me, then do follow me on Twitter. And then also in my description box there's a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website, the Instagram for that, and a 10% off discount code if you would like to check any of that out. But that's it from me today. Bye!
Too much,